note of inappropriateness, let's do this.
Okay.
Podcast. Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantsless. Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Austin?
You
Yeah.
are.
I am he who is me.
I think we're
It's not-
live. We are. I think we're live.
We are. This is special. We had so much drama today that we were like, yeah, we've got to go live because all 37 of our subscribers who probably don't care about our fantasy league need to hear about our fantasy league drama.
Yeah.
So we
Drama.
are going. We've had a couple crazy weeks. We've had tons of just terrible trade offers accepted. You were involved in one of those.
Yes, I was.
Two of those, the league vetoed. One of them is still on the table. I don't really think it's a bad trade offer. So I'm kind of glad, but I know that there have been people veto that one. Just absolute crazy. You want to talk about your experience?
Well, I tried facilitating some trades between two brothers who wanted players from each other's team but wouldn't agree upon trading to each other. So I'm like, hey, maybe I can benefit. So I was going to trade David, a receiver that he's been wanting off my roster, and he was going to send me two players that Mark wanted, a defense and a tight end, and then Mark was going to send me two decent receivers for those players. We were all going to benefit. We get that trade started. Mark backs out. And now it was eyeballing and looking like I was going to be stuck with a defense and a tight end that I don't need. And I'm like...
But you were going to be a gentleman, and you were just going to roll with it, right? You didn't vote in that. You were just going to say, "Hey, whatever happens, happens."
I can't vote. I was stuck. I couldn't vote in that to veto or make it good. My vote would have killed it or made it good outright because I'm a co-general manager. I'm co-commissioner.
There is a way that you can go in and have your vote be
for other
normal.
people's trades. For my own trade,
okay.
I can't.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I am the co-commissioner on that, or
I don't know. Maybe.
Because
I remember I did that one time. I was doing just a legit veto, and I just completely killed the whole trade instead of just voting. And I was like, I guess that happens. So yeah, I feel that.
Then there was. I'm saying names of people. They could just get over it.
Yeah.
David and Jaden had that trade. Jonathan Taylor for Nico Collins. I will tell you, I already had traded Taylor to David.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sold that he's going to be good this year. That he's going to be a high-producing running back. I have I have the current starter for Indianapolis that is crushing it, and I think they're going to share. I don't know if Taylor will get the true number one status in Indianapolis. Plus, their quarterback's hurt, so they got Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
So I just try to get the trade between Mark and Jaden. That one.
You should never, ever trade a defense for a human being.
Yeah.
Ever. And especially a high-producing human being. There is no defense worth even a top 25 player of any position.
From my understanding, she thought she was getting one over on Mark. She thought he was out for the season.
Yes, exactly. That's what made it really funny. So Mark was trying to scam her. He was trying to scam Mark. turns out she did get scammed.
That was a trade that I was willing to let go. Because that was right. You tried to scam him and got burned yourself.
Right.
I'm good with that one going through.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was pretty funny, and it came down to the wire, and eventually that one fell through with just like an hour and a half left to process. Yeah, that's how it goes, I guess.
Now I hear you have some interesting behind the stories conversations with the brothers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got some text messages that started on Tuesday that started all this drama. And before I do that, and I want to see, because I haven't checked timelines, but David actually approached me in a little side chat asking about, and it was a pretty decent trade offer. It was he was going to try to do the three-way facilitate. He was wanting to get Gabe Davis.
That's who I was going to get in all of this.
But he didn't really want Gabe Davis, and he was going to trade Gabe Davis for Ingram, and he was going to swap me, Gabe Davis, for Kmet.
Okay.
That was pretty tempting. I was looking at it, still have been looking at it, but then all this happened. Let me see, what day was that? That was Thursday. So that was yesterday. Yesterday. So I don't know when all this stuff went down. If this happened today, right? So yeah, he was texting me last night.
So
on Thursday.
So David sent me a trade last night. He sent me. Who did he send me? He was going to send me Ingram and Waddle for Amon-Ra. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I actually sent in the chat, let me sleep on that one.
Yeah.
And it got me to thinking, would Mark send me Olave for Ingram? And he said, no, but I would send you Olave for the Eagles defense if you send him a different trade asking for the Eagles defense. And that's kind of what got all this started. I'm like, well, man, if I could get Olave, he's like, I'll send you Olave and Gabe Davis for the Eagles defense and Ingram. I'm like, I'm winning here. But
your deal with David made David too powerful.
I don't think it did.
And Mark was like, no, we can't have somebody with that much power.
But how
he was wanting a little more balance.
But how was just sending him Amon-Ra giving him too much power?
He's the sun god.
But he's been underperforming this season, and that's one receiver. I didn't. And he's ranked he's currently ranked in the current ESPN fantasy. He's ranked 23rd. He would be David's like third best receiver or something. Or no, I think he's actually in current rankings. I don't know what Mark was looking at. Current rankings, Amon-Ra would be David's best receiver, ranked 23rd overall of all receivers. I'm like, I don't understand what he was looking at something that came out a week ago or a couple days ago on a different ESPN site.
Yeah, I don't know. Because who was he? What was that lady who was from Delphi that was like the mystic, and she was like a seer? I don't remember her name.
I don't.
Whatever. But she was an oracle. I don't. Whatever.
Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe that's who he consulted. He was like, "Hey, what's gonna happen?" And she said, "Ooh, I see that the sun god's gonna be dropping 30-point games for the rest of the season. Who knows? That works in your favor. We'll see." I like making these things public, But when you make them public, then they get shot down. So if like you want some really shady back dealings, you got to do it on the DL.
Yeah. But how was I to know that one member of the thruple was going to cancel on me after it already?
Yeah. You were trying to be that meat between the Cunningham bread, and it turns out one of those slices of bread was the end that nobody wants.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Do you want to read some of these messages you were getting, or are we just going to leave it?
If you want it, I will read it.
Let's do this.
And I'll do some. I'm going to do some voice acting too while I'm at it.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. And I'll probably switch. You won't know who's who because my voices will probably change, and I'll start out one thing. But anyway, so trade. This is Mark. Mark initiates on Tuesday at 11:12 a.m. Mark texts his brother, trade? David replies, probably not, but what's the pot? Olave and Henry for Waddle in our park? Absolutely not. Puka and Henry? I'm not moving Laporta. He's the best tight end in the league. You got Ingram. He's top 5. And Laporta is best right now, but we both know Kelsey is better. This is just, how do these guys do this? I don't know. I'll send you Ingram if you want him. For what? Olave and Hunter for Waddle? Next. A Waddle and Ingram? Nah, I want A.J. Dillon. I don't have an A.J. Dillon. Do you mean A.J. Brown? Because I'll block your number if you think I'd trade my best wide receiver for your second best tight end. Yes. And Waddle. You need a good tight end or you're not winning the chip. Get out of here, bro. I wouldn't even do that for Laporta. Then you're dumb. They're brothers.
Yeah, I like
it. What's your projected points for the trade I just sent you? Minus 12 for the rest of the year. Eyes roll back. But you sent me, I had minus 20, so we're getting closer. Laughing, crying emoji. What about Puka and Henry for Laporta and Waddle? No way, that's minus 20. I'm not moving Laporta. He's my dog. Good. Then I have a second solid tight end that you can't start. I don't care if you don't want to get some value for him. I'll give up Ingram. Why don't you want him? I'm starting Laporta the rest of the season beside his bye week. So Ingram can ride my bench or Henry can. I don't care. You say that like you're not trying to scam me for him. Ingram for Olave is not close. I do Tyler Lockett, but there's a fall-off from Laporta to Ingram. Puka or Olave for Laporta is fair. Look, you're the one that called them both solid. What would you give me for Kelsey? You can't get Kelsey, LOL. Derrick Henry and Gabe Davis sounds fair. Or even Tyler Lockett over Gabe. Or A.J. Brown, straight up. A.J. and Henry, Travis and I have a great working relationship. Minus 27 for the rest of the year? That's an incredibly bad trade. Travis would go from last to first, LOL. Henry and the other 2 wide receivers I mentioned, though only nets me 7 points for the rest of the year. That's less than 1 point a game. Check your trades. How about Gabe for Ingram? No defenses. I rode out with the Eagles last year, and they were good to me. If I threw in Lockett, would you swap defenses? No. I'll give you the Eagles and Ingram for Olave. I don't want Lockett. 1 sec. Let me see if anyone wants the Ravens D. If she takes this trade, will you do Achane and Gabe Davis for Eagles and Ingram? So this is when he initiates that trade with Jaden.
Yeah.
The shot heard around the world where they thought they were scamming each other.
Can I just cut in here to laugh at how they're trying to move players they don't have? Have you know?
That's arrogance, right? The Cunningham arrogance, guys. Come on.
He's trying to trade one of my players in this deal.
It's like, I can make this happen.
That's why all week he's been bugging me about Kelsey, because he's talking with his brother about it.
Yeah. No, I want Olave. I got plenty of good running backs, and one's already hurt. I don't need another guy on IR. Oh, wait. Hold on. Did I mess this up?
I'm not sure.
I can't even tell anymore. Oh, no. Wait, who wants... Oh, he was talking about Nico, because he said, nice, she accepted my trade. So this was the Nico for Taylor trade offer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's jacked that Jaden took that trade. And Mark goes, okay, but I need his production this week. I'll send you Olave for Eagles and Ingram on Saturday, so it processes after they play. You better start acting right now. I don't even need a WE now? Wide receiver? Maybe wide receiver. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'll make that deal. Bro, I'm acting right chill, LOL. And then David sends a meme from Hangover where the guy says, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Bro, you're still doing me dirty taking Olave for a defense and a tight end. How about Laporta instead of Ingram? No, I've told you before, I'm not moving Laporta. Do you not understand how to act right now? And then a flat-faced emoji from Mark.
No, I have to ask a
question. David sends a meme of ice cubes saying, I'm going to fight you.
Is this really that clean of a conversation, or are you cutting out cuss words?
No, this is completely clean. I have not edited myself out at all.
Wow.
Yeah. No, yeah. Why, LOL? Because you ain't acting right. Bro, I haven't done anything. I didn't call you out for scamming her like you did me. I didn't scam her. She literally thought dude was out all season. She was probably about to drop him. See what I mean? Oh, so I've been doing these guys backwards, I think. I've been doing Mark's voice as David's. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't know who's who in this case.
It doesn't matter. So, yeah.
They're the same person to me.
So, Mark is under the assumption that he didn't scam Jaden. So, then the next person says, all right, I still can't find a way to justify a trade centered around Olave and Ingram. So that has to be Mark, because Mark's the one with Olave. Here's the rest of the season rankings for their position and overall. And then they go into some crazy stuff. Olave, wide receiver 10, overall 19. Lockett, wide receiver 31, overall 77. David, wide receiver 34, overall 87. Laporta, tight end 4, overall 74. Ingram, tight end 5, overall 92. I would do Olave for Laporta and Eagles D just because I'm down D now, and I'd even throw in someone I'd drop like Hunter Henry. Or I'd do your picks between Lockett and Davis, plus Henry, Algier, or Palmer. I really need a backup D now, and you're not losing much going from 9th best D to 10th best, and same for tight end. David said, Ingram for Davis, that's it. Final offer, next week's Jets D is on bye, so I need Eagles. I need a backup D. I didn't even realize you have 3 defenses, LOL. The Buccaneers play Atlanta that week, and the Eagles play Miami. You don't want the Eagles starting week 7, LOL. Chane. For what? A defense? Was that a bad trade? Laughing, crying emoji. Yeah, that's a bad trade. So you have the 4th and 5th best tight end, and the 7th, 8th, and 9th best defenses. All I'm asking for is your 3rd best D plus a tight end, and I'll give you a wide receiver 2 for your starting tight end, or a wide receiver 3 for your backup. Both of those offers are more than fair and lean pretty heavily in your favor because you still get left with really solid options at tight end and defense. You just want to scam me hard, and I only want to be scammed a little bit. Every trade analyzer on the internet tells me both the options I presented favor you, and only to do it if my tight end position is weak. This is purely a desperation move. If you only want a defense to cover the Jets bye week, like I've said, you want to play the Buccaneers that week because Miami is going to drop a ton of points on the Eagles in week 7. Yeah, but I got 3 running backs, 3 running back ones, 3 wide receiver ones, 3 D ones, and 2 tight end ones, so I need something good in return. Where are they at, though, LOL? Kamara might be running back 1 on a good day, but Connor and Hall are def running backs 2s. And outside of Kupp, your wide receivers are mid. Davis and Lockett are just as good as those guys. If you want a true upgrade wide receiver, Olave, why is it that crazy to have to give up a tight end that's only marginally better than your second tight end? Tell you what would you do, Gabe Davis for Eagles D? If I got to give up Olave, I might as well go get Andrews from Austin. He already missed out on that trade. I tried to give him Andrews, and he didn't want it.
Hey.
What are you roping me into your trade mess? Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the league. I didn't scam her. No, he was. He hasn't done anything this year, and the running back that's healthy for the team has been balling out, so now he's splitting the workload. No, you need to chill, or I'm not sending you a tight end. Send me Laporta and the Eagles D for Olave, and I'll start acting right, LOL. Or Ingram and the Eagles for Davis and Lockett. Ingram for Davis, and I send Davis to Austin for Komet. There they go again.
Yeah.
Give me a defense too, LOL. How about just Davis for the Eagles D, and I'll find a different tight end? I'm not giving up everything so I can have 7 wide receivers. No, I don't even want Davis. I was going to flip him. He's averaging 11 points. Are you dumb? Why don't you want him, LOL? What am I going to do with Waddle? Play him. Pick the best one based on the matchup. Sends a pic of their trade differential where, this is the trade review between the Dills and the Washington football team, which shows the trade that you sent David. And it shows that David is actually, this week, is going to be losing 3.4 points, and for the season will be down 11.3. And he said, Greg Travis sent me, you better start acting right. Travis upped the bidding war if you want Eagles and Ingram. I need A.J. Brown.
Oh, that's what canceled the trade. They started asking for more.
Yeah.
There was more behind.
Yeah.
There was some behind the scenes dealing of my They got behind my back door of my backdoor dealings.
That's right. Yes.
Dang it!
That's yeah. And you you were just a pawn in their game of like big brain chess.
So David started asking for more of Mark.
It's kind of sound like that. Yeah, he said, "Trade Travis sent me. You better start acting right. Travis up the bidding war if you want Eagles and Ingram. I need AJ Brown." So maybe they were going to cut you out of the deal anyway, and they were going to go do something else. I don't know.
Dude, just in case the Eagles' defense would have been an upgrade for my defense, but I would have lost a wide receiver 1 that I wouldn't be able to replace unless Mark sent me. Which I don't understand Mark and Olave, because on one hand he's like, "Oh, Olave's the best receiver out there," but I'm looking to move him because he's really not that good. But you have to send me number 1s for him, but he's really not a number 1 to me.
Yeah,
not really.
exactly.
I don't really like him, but he's good enough that you have to give me your entire roster for him. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. So
David just sent in chat. That's exactly what happened. I'm guessing the back door to the back door is what he's talking about.
David always loved that double backdoor action. That was his favorite move. He's been doing it since we started fantasy.
I should have started some triple backdoor and should have shot you a trade.
Right? We should have quadruple doored this thing and figured something out. So somehow we could have all landed with people we want. So Mark said, "No, I'm accepting my offer. I've already explained the offers. I sent you a heavily leaning in your favor already. I'll give you Davis and Olave for Ingram, Eagles D, and Waddle, and that's as high as I'll go." Thought you weren't upping the offer. Take my trade. How about for Jets D? No, why are you so against trading the Eagles D? Travis will send you Amon-Ra for Olave, and then you really win. Because I like them better. They were my defense last year, and I'm a loyal man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Loyalty means nothing. I had Hunter Henry last year, and that dude is trash. I'd kick him in the knees if I saw him in the streets.
You want to know a funny story?
End of conversation.
Last week, I offered Mark Amon-Ra for Olave just to make David mad. Like, I'm just gonna move him to someone else just to see.
Like, was it a legit trade offer that Mark could have accepted?
No, I didn't send it to him. It was a face-to-face talk.
Oh.
But I know these guys are so backdoor heavy. These two are backdoor lovers over here.
Backdoor lovers. Oh, what was that? Josie and the Pussycats reference. Call back. Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, but you couldn't see it, and I wish we could have. We tried it, but the David's profile pic for Mark is just fantastic.
I just want to.
And I have the actual picture that you probably could see, but I just don't know that ethics would approve of that, of me showing Mark's face.
So David approves of Mark's voice that you gave him.
Does he? Oh. But anyway, so yeah, so all of that happened. There was tons of conversation today. Lunchtime was crazy. I don't even know. There were people saying that they were like vetoing, but I don't think they were, because somebody was like, "I've done a veto, and there's 3 vetoes," and then somebody else was like, "Well, I'm going to jump on and veto. Well, I just vetoed, and this is only the second veto," and so it was pretty crazy. Like, I don't know what was going on, but it was fun. It was hilarious, and all of that, and absolutely nothing happened. It looks like David's trade with Nico for Taylor is going to go through, I would imagine, unless something crazy happens. But yeah, fun week.
Hey,
this is what it's about.
I was stressed out, but we need to keep this going. We need this to keep going. And David might still be interested in trading your Amon-Ra. Just send me a favorable trade. Let me know.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think he's gonna fall off for the season.
Do you think he's done?
I don't think he's done. I just don't think he's gonna. I don't know.
He's not gonna put up the Sun God numbers.
He's not averaging what I want him to average. But
That's
none
fair.
of my wide receivers are averaging what I need them to.
Yeah.
What happened last year? Wide receivers were all the rage, and running backs couldn't find points, and now all of a sudden we've flipped again this year. Running backs are killing it this year.
What running backs are you looking at?
All the ones I
Because
have. There are some receivers that are still up there, but they're up and down. You got a receiver that'll score a ton, and then barely score any. And my running backs I've got like 2 running backs that just average 11 to 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of running back production. It seems like
I've seen more this
every
year.
Every player is up and down, but it seems like most players are down, including quarterbacks. But I will tell you, the people that are seeing the biggest jumps, defenses and kickers. I've seen tons of points scored by defenses and kickers.
Kickers are scoring a ton.
It's weird, but quarterbacks seem to be down, running backs seem to be down, and wide receivers seem to be down.
Wide receivers are down, yes.
But I guess you assume if offensive players are down, you're going to see defensive players increase, right. And so that's probably why we're seeing that. But why? The league is so heavily leaning towards the offense. Why are defenses playing so well right now?
Like I said, I've seen some good running back play. Because even one of your better running backs, ETN, I've had him the last 2 years, and he has not produced for Jacksonville, and he's put up good numbers for you.
Yeah, he hasn't done bad, has he?
Zach Moss has been putting up big numbers. Who's my other? I just forgot who I had as running backs. Um, I'm looking at hockey standings right now because hockey's
Oh, well, because
currently
hockey's
playing.
going on.
Raheem Moser for Miami. Freaking just he's averaging 18 points a game. Zach Moss is averaging 19. Even
Okay.
Brian Robinson for Washington's averaging 12. And my two receivers are averaging 19 and 9. Or, I mean, 10 and 9.
Yeah. Yeah, this actually, it's pretty impressive. You've got you got 2 of the top 6 running backs
Yes.
right now.
I've got 3 of the top 10 running backs.
Why is your team so bad?
Because I start the wrong players.
Oh, okay.
I've left some points on the bench. And, after as of week 4, because I didn't play last week, I had scored the most in the league, and I had given up the most points in the league. I was at like 409, and I had given up like 428. Everybody that plays me has their best week.
We are going into week 6,
6.
and right now I'm in 8th place out of 11 teams, and I have scored the most points in the whole league.
Yep.
And I have a losing record, and I'm in 8th place.
Where am I at in points scored?
Go me. You are not at the very bottom, but
Yeah, I dropped because I didn't play last week.
that's fair.
If you count my bye week, I'd be right with you. I'd be right behind
That's
you.
fair.
'Cause
Who's by this week? Who doesn't play this week?
I thought it was Kings? Dills. David.
Oh, good. Okay, so he won't score any more points. Fantastic.
David said bunch of tight ends this year. Problem with the tight ends this year is there's like 4 good ones, and then they fall off a cliff.
Yeah, 100%.
And you'll have a third string tight end pop off for 20 points and then not catch another pass for the rest of the season. Noah,
Right.
Pharaoh Brown for the New England Patriots caught 2 touchdown passes in one game, scored 18 points. I pick him up. He hasn't suited up the last 2 games. Oh, and New England hasn't scored more than 3. They've scored a total of 3 points in 2 games. The tight ends, Dallas's tight ends, Schoonmaker and that other idiot, they both caught a touchdown pass each in one of their blowout wins, and haven't seen a target since.
Yeah.
Like, the only tight ends that are getting consistent catches is Kittle, Laporta because Dan Campbell was a tight end, so he
just he wants
he's
to
going to
show
feed
the
the
love.
tight end. Kelsey's always
Yeah.
going to get points, and Mark Andrews is kind of, I don't pay attention to him, so I don't know.
Super consistent.
Hawkinson is the other one for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Does he even score?
Yeah.
I mean, does he even? I don't even know what his points are. So
Hawkinson averages 7.1.
So how can you tight ends are 5 when you only have 5 tight ends in a league of 32 teams that are really scoring good?
Yeah. Kelsey and Mark Andrews are averaging over 10 points a game. Laporta's averaging 9.4. Kmet is a full point behind him at 8.2. Kittle's right behind Kmet. Then Logan Thomas is 7.1, tied with Hawkinson at 7.1.
I don't even know where he came from because he'll get hurt eventually. Yeah, then you got Hawkinson. Yeah, and then it drops off to 5.9 with Hunter Henry.
Yeah, and not just a 5.9, but that 5.9 is, like you said, because they had a good game. Last game,
Oh, yeah.
he had 2 targets and 0 points.
Yeah, because New England hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 games.
They are terrible. They are absolutely terrible. So yeah, tight ends are super tough to come by. I know why Mark is super desperate to get a tight end, but I value my tight end. Like, I know that Andrews can put up wide receiver points daily, weekly. I can't say daily. They don't play daily, but weekly. So, like, he's a big deal. To me, Kelsey and Andrews are the only consistent elite tight ends in the game. There are some ones that are balling out right now, but who's to say that they're going to keep going? You know, they're not as consistent as Kelsey and Andrews.
Ask Sean how that number 1 overall draft pick worked out for him.
I love mentioning that as often as I can.
Sixth best quarterback in the league.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. My free agent quarterback is the 12th best and averaging 1 point less than his overall number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, and Alex drafted Lamar Jackson in the first round as well, and Lamar Jackson's right behind Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's the 10th overall.
So,
yeah, it's gonna hurt me that my quarterback is on bye week this week. I'm riding the love train for
ooh, that's a risky move.
the season. I'm riding the love train. He's on bye week this week. I mean,
you're still starting him.
Yeah. Averaging 18 points.
Yeah.
I mean, he scored. He only did 4, but that was during my bye week. He had my back on bye week. He had his bad game. There were 3 picks that game, but he'd been 23, 20, 24, 17 the 4 weeks before. If my quarterback's giving me 15 to 18 points, but Sam Howell gave me 24 last week in my bye week, and I got to start him this week, and we play Atlanta.
Okay. I think we need a hard pivot to our movie. Do you want to announce our possible changes upcoming or no?
No.
Just let her. Okay.
No.
Okay. So you want a hard pivot to our movie now?
Nope, that's the wrong one.
Retro
There we go. Professionals. All right. So this week we watched The Phantom of the Opera from, was it 1942 or 1943? I think I saw
43.
2 different things.
I put in the description 41. I missed that. 1943. Phantom of the Opera. I got bored and did not like it.
It was not an easy one.
This was probably the roughest movie we've watched, only because I think I missed parts of the movie because I just stopped listening, paying attention to the movie. I'm like, this movie's just, there's nothing that hooked me in this movie. I don't know what it was.
It was pretty slow. It was just slow. It was slow. I was impressed with the cinematography, how clean the movie looked for being filmed in 1943. It looked like if I would have seen it and they said, when was this movie made? I would have guessed it was made in the 70s. I was pretty impressed with that. But yeah, I am in full agreement. The movie was slow. There wasn't really any kind of excitement at all. You had the one chase scene, but that was just, yeah, blah. And then it ended, the ending, with the cop and the, what did he call him? The baritone.
Oh, yeah.
the police officer and the baritone, they're just like, I guess we're buddies now. And then they just hook arms and walk through the door, and that's how the movie ends. What?
I don't know.
What? Man, it was rough. And I really enjoy the music from the Phantom of the Opera, like the Broadway Phantom of the Opera. I enjoy the music, and so I was kind of hoping that there would be like some inspiration, and there wasn't. Well, I mean, I'm sure it was inspired, but there wasn't enough to make this interesting for me.
This movie was so 40s that it felt like a stage play about a stage play.
Oh gosh. I mean, yeah.
So we don't have any Common Sense Media today.
Okay.
They hated the movie as well so much that they didn't review it. But we do have Metacritic. Now, y'all's in the chats, because there's people in the chats. If you're still there, you may have just left. I don't really know.
Yeah. Start talking about a movie they check out.
Yeah, David's saying no movie talk about him. I don't know. Are you the Phantom of the Opera? I don't know what you're getting at here. Too bad.
Okay.
Metacritic, 7 reviews out of 100. What do we got?
You know, it's a classic, and I think the critics probably gave it a 73. I bet they liked it.
I bet you'd think that. Did you think that?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was higher. But I think they gave it a 73.
You're 10 points off. 63.
Oh, 63. Okay.
63.
Okay. That's fair. Go for it.
6 users out of 10.
Oh, man, not very many people watch this movie.
No, I don't blame them. Like,
how about a 5.3?
you're just off. They were a little higher.
Okay.
6.7.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. All right. And so we don't really have any. You want to bring in a review? Like,
well, I got some more stuff to read here.
Okay.
The mix on the critics: 29% positive, 71% mixed, 0% negative. Users had 67% positive, 33% mixed. Is that even 100%? 0% negative. I don't know how to math. The Los Angeles Times, math, I'm not, gave it an 80. Arthur Libben's elegant 1942 color version of Gaston Leroux. Was this in color? Yes,
it was in color. Yes, yes, it was.
I just remembered when they gave her flowers. I'm like, oh, that was in color. We just got to watch it back-to-back black and white movies, so I felt like we were moving forward. The elegant 1942 color version of Gaston Leroux's Chiller remains one of the best and chilling yet poignant Claude Rains' prowling of Paris Opera House, wreaking hideous revenge.
Wow. Okay.
He liked it. Boston Globe gave it a 75. I'll read that here in a minute. The Phantom of the Opera was never a brilliant movie, but it remains great ghoulish fun with Chaney tiptoeing the line between symphony and shudders.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't ghoulish at all.
No, I don't know where the horror aspect of this one was.
No, unless we just want to make fun of ugly people. Like, oh, look at his face that got burned with acid. He must, and it was just like a part of his face, and he was just a monster. Like,
well,
how vain were they back then? Like, I got a splash of acid on my eyeball, and now everybody's like, yeah, he's hideous. He must be a demon from hell. Or he could just be a person with a messed eye. I don't know. You have any more reviews? Or are we going to figure out what we're watching next week?
I'm reading comments. I'm reading people chatting in the chat. All right, Variety gave it a 60. Phantom of the Opera is far more of a musical than a chiller, though this element is not to be altogether discounted. It holds novelty appeal. Disagree. Couldn't disagree more. I'm trying to see if I think that's all.
The novelty appeal isn't wrong, I don't think.
Yeah, Time Out gave it a 50 and agrees kind of with you. The accent is more the accent is more on musical extravaganza than horror, with endless operatic snippets for Eddie and Foster to wearable, making it all somewhat tiresome waste of Rain's performance. So yeah, it's more musical than horror. I guess in the 40s this would have been like, oh my gosh, that's scary. But if you watch, he gets sprayed by when she throws the acid at him, it hits him from here all the way down to here, all over his hands, and only this side of his face is burned.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait. He should have got the whole Joker treatment.
Right.
So, what do you know what, we'll do that. What do we want to watch next?
What do we want to watch next? Next week is our season finale. It's the weekend before Halloween. I mean, this has got to be big. I know David wants us to watch Tusk. It's not sure. Super retro. That's not very retro at all. I've seen it, and it is bizarre.
I don't even know what that
absolutely
is.
Bizarre.
Can't tell you. I can't even say I know what that is.
It's just a few years old, I think.
2014?
Oh, I didn't realize it was that old. Okay. But it is absolutely bizarre.
Son, I mean, 2014's not bad. It's got Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah. And, fun fact, they're kind of doing what we are doing right now. They're like OG podcasters. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it? All right. We're going to watch Tusk.
We got a suggestion in the chat. How can I?
That's fair.
We don't get those.
I'm excited. Yeah. Where can we watch Tusk? We'll figure it out. It's on something. It might be on Amazon.
Nope, I'll tell
Amazon
you right now.
It's either Amazon or Peacock.
It is on Amazon Prime.
All right.
And the Roku channel.
Oh, okay.
The brothers agree. Tusk would be a great one.
Okay.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Fantastic. That excites me.
I'm always down for a movie I've not heard of. So.
All right. So we're going to watch Tusk this week. We'll come back a week from today. We'll talk about Tusk. Maybe we'll talk about some more fantasy drama.
Hey,
I hope we have some.
Before we leave, which we'll get. We didn't talk about. You know, we'll double down next week, and we didn't even do any of our over-unders or Washington Dallas talk.
Oh snap! You're
I'm
right.
not prepared for it. We're done for tonight.
All right.
We'll just double down next week, and we won't get any over-unders for this week.
Yeah. Watch Tusk. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Hold on. I am not ready for any of this.
You're not even ready for us to leave. You're not ready for anything. What?
Like, comment,
do we want to do some over-unders? No.
Watch our stuff. Hey, dropped a short today. Go check it out. Tell me what you think. I just kind of did it like real quick. Austin, did you watch it?
I haven't got to watch it yet. No. I'll watch it after this.
Okay. Guys, have a good one. Hit the right button.
Yep. Hit it.